What's going on, friends? Logan Myers here for Cinephellas.com. Really excited to talk about a movie I just checked out yesterday in the theaters, and I'm talking about the brand new film from Adam McKay, Vice. So this is a follow-up. He did The Big Short a few years back. Excellent film, excellent ensemble. Definitely great storytelling in that film. And this time around in Vice, we have Christian Bale playing Dick Cheney and basically his rise to power to becoming the vice president during the George W. Bush administration. Early on in the film, we see him getting pulled over. He's all wasted and drunk and very young, not really sure what he wants to do with his life and no direction. And early on in the film is, Amy Adams' character playing Lynn Cheney, really pushing her husband, Dick, pointing him in the right direction. And like, you need to stop drinking and fucking up or you're going to lose me. So that sets up where he was early on in his life and how far he came at the end of the movie, really rising to the top and becoming vice president. And, he had different positions, at the White House, working for Donald Rumsfeld, played by Steve Carell, which was also very excellent. He was such a dick in this movie, and he really portrayed Rumsfeld pretty spot on. Just watching him in the news back in the 2000s, he definitely played the character pretty close. Dick Cheney working with him and growing and really getting a perspective of how politics work and working in the White House and things like that. So it really sets up the relationship early on. And he put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And he's a man of very few words. And the way that Christian Bale portrayed this, he had the mannerisms down, the way that he walked, the way that he talked. It was very convincing. You can see that he did his research on Mr. Dick Cheney, because the final product was definitely top notch. And I'm going to say this right now, one of the best performances of the year. And what I love about Christian Bale being one of my favorite actors and one of our favorite actors here at Cinephellas is he's a chameleon of an actor. He can play so many different roles. He transforms his body in all these different roles over the years. The Machinist, he lost so much weight. He was like skin and bones, and seeing him as Batman and Bruce Wayne, he was jacked. In the American Hustle, he gained weight. In this film, he put on a ton of weight. And obviously they did a lot of prosthetic work to make him look older and look like Dick Cheney, but he did gain a lot of weight for this film. So he's a very hardworking actor and one of the best working today. But throughout the film, Adam McKay has a really way of editing and cutting between scenes. In this movie, we had a lot of things that happened back then when Dick Cheney was working in politics and working with George W. Bush, cutting to real news feeds. It was really intriguing to learn about Dick Cheney and how powerful he was and how he really was the puppet master. He was this wizard behind the curtain controlling George W. Bush, making all these huge decisions and things happening in our history. In 2001 with 9/11 happening, George W. Bush, Dick Cheney, they were there calling the shots and trying to react to this catastrophic event that happened in New York. And you can see that, a guy that's quiet, but you really need to watch out for Dick Cheney because he was capable of doing a lot. Dick Cheney was very pro-war and very pro-torturing, torturing people in other countries, the Americans soldiers capturing these people and torturing. And, another big aspect in this film is the unitary executive, which I'm not going to really get into, but it really kind of explains it throughout the film. And with this, the vice president's able to do these certain things and call the shots. And we all know George W. Bush wasn't the brightest guy or the brightest president, so he needed somebody really dependable like Dick Cheney that was knowledgeable, that's been in politics. And I almost forgot my favorite character in the movie himself, George W. Bush, played by Sam Rockwell. One of my favorite actors working in Hollywood. He won Best Supporting Actor last year at the Oscars, and he's really killing it in movies lately. I wish he had more scenes in Vice as George W. Bush, but the few scenes he had were definitely memorable and funny and hilarious, and I think he really depicted that character pretty much perfectly. So overall, I had a great time with Vice. I don't think it's one of the best movies of the year, but the best performances. I'm going to be really surprised if Christian Bale does not get nominated for an Oscar for Best Lead, Amy Adams for Best Female Lead, Best Supporting Actor, Sam Rockwell. But like I said, it's a great cast of people. I think the story, a little bit of the editing kind of lost me, and this movie went on for about 20 minutes too long, unfortunately. It was about 2 hours and 15 or something like that. So I think they could have cut it down a little bit at the end and just picked up the pace a little bit towards the second and third act. It kind of slowed down. Yeah, this movie is not as good as The Big Short. I thought Adam McKay's other film was much better in terms of the final product and the story and the script and everything. But Vice had better performances all around. So overall, I'm going to give Adam McKay's Vice a 3.5 out of 5 George W. Bush hair pieces. So what did you guys think of Vice? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? What was your favorite performance in the film? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myers signing out with a few of my mates up here, Dick Cheney and George W. Bush. Until the next review, cheers!